Just a quick disclaimer, the gameplay in this video is going to look pretty naff. I am recording it directly from my original Xbox, which is why the quality and resolution isn't as good as it could be. Some of these games have been remastered in the likes of the Master Chief Collection and things like that, but I'm going to play them in their original form, as that's part of the theme of this video. Hope you enjoy. So, the Halo PC fan game space has been pretty quiet recently. There's not been a great deal from either IO1 or Project Contingency, as well as any of the other ones like Glast or the other PC Halo games like Project Cartographer and things. They've all had little updates and things, but nothing that's really video worthy. And I've sort of used that as an excuse to slack a little, and that's not something I really want to do. So I'm bringing you guys something a little different today, and it's something that is near and dear to my heart, and it was announced at E3, and that's original Xbox backwards compatibility. Now for those of you who don't know, I am very, very deep in the Jet Set Radio fanbase. I love the game to death, and I, like a lot of people on Twitter, am desperately begging for a sequel, or at least a HD port of Jet Set Radio Future. If you guys haven't played it, it is the game that is being played in the background at the moment, and if you like the look of it, the original, which is not as good in my opinion, is on Steam, and it's quite cheap. It's somewhere between £3 and £10 normally. It goes cheaper in Steam sales. It's also on the Xbox Live Arcade, and I believe the PlayStation 3. Now, the topic of this video is what to expect from original Xbox backwards compatibility. Now, I don't think we will see up-resing of games, unless developers allow for this. There are some games, Jet Set Radio being an example, where a simple hex edit can increase the game's resolution on the console it was made for, but that console can't run the game properly at any resolution higher than its native resolution. While the game supports it, it runs like arse. And this probably isn't something we'll see from back Compat, given that they will try and emulate the hardware of the original Xbox as close as possible. We may get tweaks and things to performance. For example, Jet Set has slowdowns in some areas, and Halo Reach had the same, and hopefully this is something that could be ironed out if the game does come back to backwards compatibility. Now, another thing that was stated is they want to bring online multiplayer back to the original Xbox games, which is awesome in its own right. But again, some people in the Jet Set Radio community are hoping for Jet Set to have multiplayer. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to use it as an example. Jet Set Radio has split screen, but no Xbox Live. There is no way they are going to take time to program in networked multiplayer to a game that doesn't support it just for backwards compatibility. That's not something that can be fixed with a simple tweak. That's something that would require a lot of dev time and a lot of dev work. Taking a game that's primarily single player, even split screen, and making it multiplayer, networked multiplayer, is a lot more effort than any developer is going to put in for a backwards compatibility title that they can't charge any money for. We'll probably see the minimum improvements, the minimum things to get the games running to begin with, and then if there are any crazy game-breaking issues, they will probably be fixed. Now, of course, I am hoping that we see Halo 1 and Halo 2 come back on backwards compatibility, along with Halo 2's networked multiplayer. They said they want to bring Xbox Live back for these games. I doubt Halo 2 will get Xbox Live, but if it does come back to backwards compat and gets Xbox Live, well, you'll probably find me there for the rest of my days, as Halo 2 was my jam. While I do prefer playing it on the PC, there's no ranks or anything like that, there's nothing to really work towards, and hopefully there'd be a decent community at that point, sort of like how Halo Reach has a moderately decent community now. It's not as big as it once was, it's a shadow of its former self, but there are people there to play games with when you want to play games, and that's good enough for me. Something else that I would love to see come to backwards compatibility is the Time Splitters franchise. Now, the comment section is going to be divided on this. Half of you are going to be like, oh my god, holy shit, yes please. And the other half are probably going to be, what the hell is Time Splitters? Well, Time Splitters is one of the great granddaddies of early first-person shooters, the original of which was released just before Halo, and the sequels, Time Splitters 2 and Time Splitters Future Perfect, which are the games that I really want to come back, were released just after. And they were some of the most fun multiplayer experiences I had as a child. Now this may be nostalgia speaking, but I do go back occasionally and play it on my original Xbox. I do still own my copies of them from when I was a child. And they still are incredibly fun today. They're not as pretty as modern day shooters, or even some shooters for the time, but the quirkiness, the craziness, and the sandbox was absolutely fantastic. I've had more time playing co-op campaign on Time Splitters than I have playing Halo in my childhood. Which is saying something. My cousin used to come round every other day after school, and we'd sit and play Time Splitters all afternoon. You know, we'd replay the campaign over and over and over again, just having fun. We'd do the challenges, we'd play with bots and things like that. Now, those games did have network multiplayer, though as a child I never really got to experience that. I was too young to deal with subscriptions and things like that. I was paying for my own consoles and things out of pocket money and paper rounds and things back then, so a subscription wasn't something that really resonated with me at the time. Though, if they came back with Time Splitters 2 and 3 on Xbox One backwards compatibility with networked multiplayer, I'd probably dedicate about half my channel to that, because goddamn, that game is so fun, and the people that haven't played it really need to do so. Do you have any other favourites you'd love to see come to original Xbox backwards compatibility? If you do, let me know in the comment section down below. And remember, stay classy.